in the United States House of Representatives are openly talking about impeaching the President of the United States if he invades Greenland, as one was quoted today in the press. Mr. President, the American people want the Epstein files, not Greenland. And if you violate the law, there will be consequences.
Republican civil war just exploded into open warfare, and what's happening is absolutely unprecedented. Republican Congressman Don Bacon from Nebraska just signaled support for impeaching Trump, not Democrat. Republican, GOP member openly discussing removing his own party's president from office. And it's all over Greenland. Over Trump's insane obsession with invading ally because he likes how it looks on map. Because he doesn't understand map projections. Because he wants territory with his name on it regardless of geopolitical catastrophe. And Bacon isn't alone. He said so many Republicans are mad at this. If Trump went through with invasion threats, Bacon thinks it would be end of his presidency. That Republicans would support impeachment. This is MAGA civil war reaching point where party members are openly plotting to remove their own president. And Trump has no idea how to stop it because his grip on party is slipping faster than anyone expected. But real quick, before we get into this, let's be honest. You can't really trust mainstream media anymore. That's why we built John Brown Show, to bring you real stories, real context, and no corporate spin. If you want to stay ahead of the headlines, please subscribe, because you might think you are but aren't. Your subscription actually matters here. All right, let's get into why this is happening, because Greenland obsession shows everything wrong with Trump. Chris Hayes broke down how utterly stupid this is. There's no national security need for US to control country that's already our ally in NATO alliance. Already part of US missile defense for 70 years. We already have military base in Greenland. JD Vance went to that base last year. Trump knows it exists, but he wants ownership anyway. Share this video with everyone you know and Trump admitted why. He told New York Times that ownership is very important to him. Discussed with Real Estate Mogul's Eye the land mass of Greenland. Said ownership gives you thing you can't get from lease or treaty. Ownership gives you elements you can't get from signing document. That's not strategic thinking. That's real estate developer wanting to own property, wanting deed in his name. But here's stupidest part. Trump also likes how Greenland looks on map, likes how big it appears. And that's optical illusion from Mercator projection. When you display spherical planet on flat map, things near poles look much bigger than they actually are. Greenland is pretty big, but it's not continent-sized like it appears on standard maps. And experts think that's literally why Trump wants it, because he doesn't understand how maps work and thinks Greenland is massive territory that would make him look powerful. Think about what that means. Chris Hayes said it's surreal. Like waking nightmare, we're near precipice of totally unprecedented geopolitical crisis in post-World War II era. Would move us outside that period of history and back toward World War period. Trump could blow up NATO at any second, which would be feature not bug for administration that serves Putin's interests. Make sure you're subscribed to John Brown Show, because this is where we are. President who doesn't understand map projections wants to go to war over territory. Sounds like cartoon king from Disney movie set 1,000 years ago. Not current president of United States in 2026. But stupidity has been theme of this administration. And it's gotten us to dark places. And it's only getting darker. Trump ran on lowering costs, then exploded them through tariffs and failed policies. Now telling America they'll have to pay $1 million per Greenlander so we can have territory for Trump to put his name on. No real strategic objective other than look at me, I'm conqueror, I'm king. And his former MAGA supporters in House do not appreciate this at all. Don Bacon already threatened to resign over Trump's foreign policy, after it came out that Trump and Steve Witkoff were handing talking points to Russians for negotiations over ending Ukraine war. But now Bacon is threatening something worse. Not just resignation, impeachment support, Republicans signaling he would back removing Trump from office. Bacon blasted Trump's talk of taking over Greenland, called idea utter buffoonery, warned it could spark bipartisan impeachment efforts. That's Republicans saying Democrats and Republicans together might impeach Trump over this, underscoring deepening GOP fractures over Trump's foreign policy, party splitting apart over president's reckless decisions. Share this with everyone, because Bacon warned if Trump went through with threats, I think it would be end of his presidency. said Trump needs to know off-ramp is realizing Republicans aren't going to tolerate this and he's going to have to back off. Trump hates being told no. But in this case, Republicans need to be firm, said it would be total mistake to invade ally, would be catastrophic to our allies and everything. Just worst idea ever in his view. And Bacon said he'll be candid. There's so many Republicans mad at this. If Trump went through with these threats, it would be end of his presidency. That's not one disgruntled Republican. That's Bacon saying many Republicans privately furious, many questioning whether they can continue supporting Trump if he actually invades Greenland. Civil war simmering beneath surface, ready to explode. Now would Senate convict if House impeached? That's harder question. Senate is mess. Republicans bought and paid for. Terrified of Trump, but House is different thing right now. And it wouldn't just be end of Trump's term because of impeachment threat. It's because of what's coming. Midterms that will be total wipeout for Trump and Republicans. But if we're worrying about whether rogue president is going to invade with military force an ally where we can already put troops on bases, then maybe we're past impeachment. Maybe we need to go further. Maybe we don't just need to consider it out loud. Maybe we need to move right now. If you're having to ask these questions, you've already gone too far. Republicans in Senate voted for War Powers Act to restrict Trump's military authority. Not enough voted yes. But fact that any Republicans voted to constrain their own president shows how serious concerns are. If there are Republicans in Senate voting to restrict Trump's powers, maybe we've crossed line where impeachment isn't just option, but necessity. Think about what that means. Trump must understand there are implications to this. Person running on affordability can't jack up prices and give bunch of money to Greenland. Can't invade ally because he likes how territory looks on map. This is not how this works. But these fractures deepening in way that's causing more problems for Trump every day. Big issue with impeachment threat, with these questions being raised, with Mike Johnson unable to control House, is we've seen discharge petitions come to floor. Votes Mike Johnson never wanted to happen. Why didn't Johnson want votes? Because if bills pass, if they get to Trump's desk, his vetoes expose his real priorities. And because votes put Republicans on record, create fuel for Democrats to use against them in campaigns. Johnson tries to pack everything into big bills. So Republicans can claim, well, I wasn't voting for that specific element. I was voting for something larger. They include pay increases for military service members. So they can say Democrats voted against troops when Democrats opposed ugly bill, but on individual votes, there's nothing to hide behind, no excuse, just record of how they voted. That's why Marjorie Taylor Greene could claim she didn't know about AI regulation provision in bill, even though it's her job to read legislation. Why Republicans need big bills to hide behind. But with House in revolt, with discharge petitions forcing individual votes, that strategy is failing. Republicans getting exposed vote by vote. And this gives someone like Don Bacon tremendous power, gives Thomas Massie tremendous power to do whatever they want, say whatever they want. If we're worried about Trump invading Greenland, there's literally no reason why Bacon wouldn't just caucus with Democrats. Bacon is retiring, won't become Democrat, but might say, I'll caucus with Democrats so Hakeem Jeffries becomes Speaker and can carry forward impeachment. No Mike Johnson blocking it. Share this video because these guys have nothing left to lose. Bacon already considered resigning over Russia talking point scandal. Now considering worse option for Trump, supporting impeachment. And Johnson can't stop him. Can't stop any of them. House is ungovernable right now. Republicans taking votes off floor this week because they don't know their numbers. Don't know who's with them and who's against them. Now let me talk about contradiction in Trump's Greenland obsession, because it exposes how incoherent his worldview is. Trump claims we need Greenland because Russia is threat, because Putin might invade, but Trump doesn't treat Putin like threat. If he did, he'd support Ukraine more strongly, would arm them better, would stand up to Russian aggression. Instead, Trump says Putin just wants war to be done, that Putin isn't really trying to conquer land, just big chilling, according to Trump's narrative. So how could that guy who supposedly doesn't care about Ukrainian territory be threat to invade Greenland? None of it lines up, and it's not supposed to line up, because it's not about coherent foreign policy strategy. Trump can't even spell most of those words. It's about power, about ego, about putting his name on territory, about looking big and powerful regardless of consequences. That's what this has always been about. Not strategy, not national security, just Trump's psychological need to own things and dominate. And Republicans are finally seeing it, finally admitting what's been obvious, that Trump's foreign policy is driven by narcissism, not national interest, by real estate developers' desire for property, not commander-in-chief's assessment of threats. And they're breaking from him publicly in ways that would have been unthinkable a year ago. Think about what that means. Bacon's threat to support impeachment is significant because he represents shift in Republican thinking. For years, Republicans defended Trump no matter what, rationalized every abuse, explained away every violation. But Greenland obsession is bridged too far, is moment when even loyalists say this is insane and we can't support it. And it's not just principle, it's politics. Republicans facing brutal midterms, running under banner of president whose approval is tanking, whose policies are failures, whose foreign policy is creating crises. They're calculating that defending Trump costs them more than breaking from him, that their political survival requires distance. That's why we're seeing war powers votes, why we're hearing impeachment talk from Republicans, why fractures are deepening, not because Republicans suddenly found principle, because political winds have shifted enough that protecting Trump is liability, not asset. And more Republicans are reaching that conclusion every day. Mike Johnson's weakness accelerates this. He can't hold caucus together, can't prevent discharge petitions, can't control floor votes, can't protect Trump through procedural barriers. So individual members have more power, can break from leadership, can threaten impeachment, can caucus with Democrats if they want, and leadership can't stop them. This is unprecedented situation. Speaker who isn't really speaker, president who's lost control of his party, Republicans openly discussing impeaching their own president, civil war that's not metaphorical, but actual split over fundamental direction. And Trump keeps making it worse through reckless decisions like Greenland obsession. Bottom line is this: Republican Don Bacon signaled support for Trump impeachment over Greenland invasion threats, called idea utter buffoonery, warned it could spark bipartisan impeachment efforts, said if Trump went through with threats it would be end of his presidency, that so many Republicans are mad, that party wouldn't tolerate invasion of ally. Trump wants Greenland because he likes how it looks on map, because Mercator projection makes it appear huge, because he doesn't understand cartography, because he wants ownership and territory in his name. Told New York Times, ownership gives things you can't get from lease or treaty. Real estate thinking, not strategic thinking. Chris Hayes explained there's no national security need. We're already allies, already have base there. Trump could blow up NATO over this, create unprecedented geopolitical crisis, all because he wants property, because he's cartoon king who doesn't understand how world works. Republicans breaking from Trump because Greenland exposes his incoherence, claims Putin is threat to Greenland, but also says Putin just wants peace in Ukraine. Contradictions show foreign policy driven by ego, not strategy, by power, not national interest. And Republicans finally admitting they can't defend this. Bacon already threatened resignation over Russia talking points, now threatening impeachment support, has nothing to lose as retiring member, could caucus with Democrats to make Jeffries speaker and enable impeachment. Johnson couldn't stop it. House is ungovernable. Republicans don't know their numbers, can't prevent discharge petitions. Individual members have tremendous power. MAGA civil war reaching breaking point. Party splitting over reckless president. Republicans openly plotting removal. Trump making it worse through defiance and doubling down. Midterms will be wipeout. Impeachment threat is real. GOP fracturing in real time. This is Republican launching Trump impeachment. This is civil war. And Trump created it through his own stupidity and narcissism. This story continues. Stay tuned.